I believe that our group is made up of WordPress developers or web developers. We have people who just use WordPress to run their blogs. We have those who use WordPress to run their business sites. So we are a group. It is a group made up of different people who have different skills when it comes to using WordPress, maybe building websites or just using it. The tools or the plugins that I'm going to talk about are plugins that I believe, even if you are not a developer, even if you're just someone who uses WordPress just to run a normal blog, then you should be having them. That's why we are calling them the must-have WordPress plugins. These are plugins that I believe that if you have them, they'll make your work easier as someone who is running a WordPress website. Plugins are just but tools that will help you enhance the functionality of your website without really having to code anything. So you don't need to know how to code for you to be able to achieve some functionalities within your WordPress website. For example, if you wanted to add a contact form, you don't have to code that. You just need to use a plugin to be able to add that feature into your WordPress website. And there are over 50,000 WordPress plugins already within the WordPress plugin repository. There are other developers who haven't listed their plugins in the WordPress repo, but the ones that are in the WordPress plugin repo are over 50,000 plugins. And with that said, how do you know that this is the plugin that I need to be using in my WordPress website? For the master of WordPress plugins, I have listed some here. Actually, I believe that with these ones here, you will be in a position to run your WordPress website smoothly. Number one is the Admin and Site Enhancement. We have the ManageWP. Solid Security, which formerly it was iThemes Security. Classic Editor, that is if you want to make your to have the old editing or the old editor experience, you can use the Classic Editor. And then we have the Rank Math. Then we have LiteSpeed Cache or any other speed cache that you can website cache that you can use. So I'm going to talk about them one by one. Starting with the Admin and Site Enhancement plugin. Now, this plugin here, it's actually new, and it helps you customize your website in whichever way you want. For example, when it comes to login and logout, you can change the login URL. You hear that if you want to at least make your website secure, you need to change the default login URL, which is usually the wp-login.php or wp-admin. If you want to change that without using an extra plugin to help you achieve that, you can use the Admin and Site Enhancement. This plugin has lots and lots of features. It's new, but it has lots and lots of features. It's something that I tried it and I saw that you can use or you can do lots of things from here. Moving forward, we have the ManageWP. So ManageWP basically helps you manage a number of websites within one dashboard. So you can be managing, let's say 10 websites without having to log into each and every website all the time. You can be managing them from within one dashboard. The only thing that you need to do is have an account with ManageWP and then connect your website to the ManageWP dashboard, and then you will be able to run almost everything from within the ManageWP dashboard. Some of the things that you can be able to do is back up your website. With the free option of the free version of the ManageWP, you will be able to back up your website at least once per month. But if you go for the premium version, or if you want to pay for premium backups, you can back up on a daily basis or twice or three times per day, depending on how you want to take your backups. You can run updates, the bulk updates, the plugins, the themes, the WordPress core, everything you can run from within the dashboard. If it's something that you have, let's say 10 or 12 or 20 websites that you're managing, You can like set aside, let's say every Tuesday you run plugin updates or theme updates or all the updates. The next plugin that I want to talk about is the Solid Security. This plugin helps secure your website, or at least reduce the risk to something nearly zero. That is what they say. That is what they promise. They promise that they will reduce your WordPress website risk to nearly zero. I know we have preferences when it comes to the plugins that we use. If you are a fan of WordFence, use WordFence. But for me, I believe that with the WordPress security plugins, you don't have to pay for the plugin. You don't have to buy the pro version of the plugin. The WordPress security, I believe that the hosting should be able to cover like 90% of the security, of the website security. The rest you need to be doing, like, updating your plugins, the theme and the core files, and making sure that you are always running your website on an SSL, active SSL certificate. So with that, you don't need to buy a pro version, but if you want, you can always buy the premium version of the security plugin. Number 4 is the classic editor. If you are someone who builds websites for clients and you want them, or you don't want them to be like, running into problems with how to use the Gutenberg or the other editors, then I think the classic editor should be the easiest of them to use. So classic editor is one of those plugins that I think you should be having installed in your WordPress website. Number 5, have the title here, LiteSpeed Cache, but like I said, we have preferences. For the LiteSpeed Cache, I think that if you have, or your host is supporting the LiteSpeed Cache, or it's one of those hosts that part of the developers of the LiteSpeed Cache, then you should use the LiteSpeed Cache. Other than that, there are web hosts that they come with their own, cache plugins. First, get to know the technology behind the hosting that you're using, and then you can settle on the cache plugin that you're going to use. And when you're using the cache plugin, you need to be very careful when it comes to doing the settings. So you need to know how to use these cache plugins in order to be able to achieve the speed that you want with your website. Next is for the SEO. For the SEO, we have lots of the SEO plugins out there. The top 3, I think, is Yoast, Rank Math, All-in-One SEO, and then there are other SEO plugins. The reason as to why I think Rank Math SEO is a perfect choice is because with Rank Math SEO free version, you will be able to like get most of the features that you only need to pay for if you were to choose Yoast SEO. But all of them are perfect plugins. So Rank Math SEO is one of those plugins that I think you should be having installed in your WordPress website for you to be able to make your SEO or optimize your content on your website for SEO. So some of the tips of using WordPress plugins, I had come up with around 7 of them. Number 1 is you need to keep your plugins updated. This is no-brainer. Like, if there is a new update, then it means that that new update is supposed to be solving some issue. Maybe it's a security issue, or maybe it's adding a new feature. Now, if you don't update your plugin, there is a possibility that the previous version or the version that you're currently having had some security issues, and the longer you stay with your plugin not updated, the easier you make it for the hackers out there to hack into your website. Number 2, you need to limit the deactivated plugins within your website. If you have like a plugin that you're no longer using and you have deactivated it, it's better if you delete it altogether. Just remove it altogether. Number 3, get your plugins from trusted sources. If it's a plugin, let's say you want to use Monarch. Monarch is one of the Elegant Themes plugins for the social media, the social icons. You can use it to display the social follow icons or the social sharing buttons, but it's not available in the WordPress repo. The best source to get that plugin is from the Elegant Themes website. So it means you'll need to sign up and get the plugin from there. Don't get the plugin from other sites that will tell you that you're going to get this for free, it's a premium, and then you do that. Don't do that. Get from the trusted sources. The trusted sources here include the WordPress repo, WordPress plugin repository, which is on wordpress.org/plugins. And the second trusted source is from the developer's website. Fewer is better. This is something that I think most developers run into, or most WordPress users run into. You just want, like, there is a new feature or there is a feature that you want within your website. The first thing that you're going to do is install. If it is something that you can be able to achieve with, let's say, code, and you're a developer, achieve it with the code. Just find a way of adding that code into your website, either through code snippets, or you can use a child theme to be able to inject that code into the functions.php within the child theme. And then avoid conflicting or duplicate plugins. This is where we have people who believe that if you're using 2 cache plugins, then there's a possibility that you're going to make your website even more faster. Or if you're using 2 SEO plugins, you're going to make your website more SEO optimized. That's not the case. Use one plugin for each feature. For example, if you want one for SEO, stick with Rank Math or Yoast or All-in-One SEO. Don't have 2 plugins that are going to be conflicting at the end of the day. And 6, install only quality plugins. Quality in this case, I believe, is before you install a plugin, check on the reviews, check on how the developer supports the plugin, and check on the support forum for this plugin. See how this developer interacts with the plugin users. See how he handles, or the developer handles, the issues that come up with the plugin, and see if the plugin supports the current technologies. The PHP, does it support the PHP 8.2, or does it support the current version of WordPress? We are in WordPress 6.5. Does that plugin support the current version of WordPress? So those are some of the things that you need to be able to check before you install your plugin. And then lastly, free versus premium. Should you use the free plugin or the premium version of the plugin? That's now up to you. I believe that most of the plugins that have been added to the WordPress plugin repo, the free versions are just enough, and you can be able to achieve most of the things with just the free version of the plugin. You don't need to add or buy the premium version. But if you need to buy, then you can always buy the premium version. But the free, that's it. That's the end of the presentation.